off. She's going to hit the deep spot. Defense is what you come to expect. You got Cagle, Moore, Lungaleo, and Brown in the infield.
First pitch drilled to center field. Mackenzie Clark makes it look easy over there in right center. One pitch, one out.
Yeah, that's good work if you can get it right there. One pitch, one out. The wind is blowing in from right center field. It will be a factor on balls that go out there. That ball may have hung up even a little bit.
Got Oda, Clark, and Johnson across.
Now here is the player that we've been wanting to get a look at.
This is Adrian Byzantine that we were just talking about. First pitch, easy play for Valerie Cagle. So Millie Thompson, 2 pitches and 2 outs. When she was having a dream last night, manifesting the game today.
Yeah, that's
exactly how it started.
Let me tell you what, that is outstanding start from Millie Thompson. Talk about having an economy with your pitches.
Andrea Lyon steps in. You swing at the first pitch after it's 2 pitches, 2 outs, or do you take one here? Let's see what she does. She takes one low, 1-0. Yep.
I would have had her taken anyway, but I don't think the take sign was on there. But the ball was so far out of the strike zone, it really wasn't a question of it.
See, she's got some power with 3 home runs this season. Next at strike 1, a delayed strike call. I'm always checking out the umpires, right? It's John Gilliland behind the plate. Takes his time with the strike call. That's fine. Off-speed pitch, and that's her bread and butter right there, 1 and 2.
That is her feel-good. Partner, they told me I forgot to mention the outfielders for the Tigers. You got Oda in left. You got Clark out there in center field, and you've got the rookie Kaylee Johnson out there in right.
1-2 pitch, off speed, right in there. They appeal down to first base. That is a very delayed and then delayed strike 3 call. A very quick
167 innings. Got an 8-2 record, 1.88 ERA. She has struck out 28 and walked 15. Excuse me, that is wrong. Has struck out 62 and walked 15. That can't be right. Somebody help me here.
It's 68 strikeouts.
68 and 28.
28 walks.
Come on, man.
I didn't know if you wanted me to jump in or you just
don't let me drown.
Out.
Don't let me sit here and drown.
Come on. First pitch into Brown.
Wait till your eyes get to be as old as mine.
I hear you. I'm getting close. We're not as far apart as you think. That one a little bit outside. I've got to wait.
Yep.
On the home plate umpire, Alex Brown, the junior from Savannah, has been having herself a nice season.
Yes, she has. She transferred down here from North Carolina, University thereof, who will be coming in here for 3 this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be a big series for her personally.
That's a big series for the entire shooting match.
It is.
North Carolina's much improved.
Tigers 17-6 on the season. Gardner Webb 20-7. Feels like the softball season's flying by, Scott.
Yes, it is.
The 2-1, kind of slap towards short. Good short hop. Close play at first. Safe is the call. Boy, I got down that line quick.
I think she may have got that one. That ball took a big hop off the bat, and that was the big difference in the whole thing there.
You see her running up in the batter's box and just slapping at it. Yeah, she got in there.
Yeah, the shortstop, Christopher, did all she could do. The biggest problem she had to wait for the ball to come down.
So a good start for the Tigers, and our spotlight player to watch, Mackenzie Clark, steps in. Batting a cool .362 on the year. Looks at the first one, ball 1.
Often overlooked, often underappreciated because she, like a lot of the Tigers, have had to deal with the Cagle factor. Cagle draws a lot of the attention, but Clark has had a great career here for the Tigers.
Big cut at that one, evens the count. Criminal justice major.
She very active during her at bats. After every pitch, if she doesn't make contact in fair territory. She walks in a circle, gets her head cleared up, then she goes back at it.
That one just misses, 2-1.
And she is taking that walk, looking down at third base coach John Rittman.
Tigers in the white tops and the gray pants. There's Coach Rittman right there.
Johnny Ballgame.
That one's inside, runner going. Great throw down to second base.
Sure was.
Nails him. Dreyer with the throw out at second base. You don't see a whole lot of that in college softball at all, and Alex Brown is out.
Dreyer nailed her. That was a great throw. Look at this throw. Bam, and just slid right into it. Don't know if Brown got the jump that she wanted to get on that, but it doesn't matter. That great throw would have got most people.
So that's the first out. 3-1 count on Mackenzie Clark. She looks at ball 4, and she takes her little circle walk. And she's like, oh, hey, I get to walk all the way down to first base.
Yeah.
Taking her time. That's all right.
Took a stroll before she went, didn't she?
She did. So runners on for Valerie Cagle. That's not ideal if you're any pitcher in college softball. Valerie comes in batting .380, 5 homers, 25 RBI on the season.
What can you say about this player that has not already been said?
Check swing.
The coolest thing of the upload of the Clemson softball program from my perspective is I've got to watch the Mackenzie Clarks, the Valerie Cagles, the Lungaleos. I mean, I've got to see them have their whole career, and Clark and Cagle are exceptional, with Clark just being a little bit different.
Yeah. Both fantastic players. They'd like to do some damage here together in the first inning as well. Give Millie Thompson and the Tigers the early lead. Cagle kind of bloops one out over the shortstop. That's going to fall for a single. Tigers on first and second.
And you know who's feeling bad right now is John Rittman for putting the steal on.
Yes.
You know, because he's sitting there going, oh, man, you know, he's saying all those things to himself. But you can't do that. You got to go with what's there. Cagle does a good job going the opposite way. He lifts a little flare over the shortstop's head. And now Aaliyah Longaleo gets to step in with a chance to drive in some runs.
She looks at strike one. So Clark on second, Cagle on first. 2 seniors on the bases and a senior in the box. Longaleo.
These 3 are very much the foundation of this program. With some others, but these 3 in particular. They've played a lot of softball. You've got unsung heroes like Millie Thompson and JoJo Hyatt. And I know I may be leaving some other ones out. Ariel Oda, definitely. But these are the people who have laid the foundation that players for years to come will try to aspire to.
Longaleo behind 0-2. One high out into right field. Boy, the right fielder had a little bit of trouble with it. Clark going into third base, barely beats the throw.
Very aggressive.
It was a great catch by Garcia. It looked like she might have lost it a little bit in the sun or something.
Well, I think
he closed in on it and made a great throw.
Mark, I think it's the wind. If you look where the wind's blowing in from, I think the wind just caught that ball and stopped it. But a good job, though, by the right fielder. Garcia staying with it and running it down.
She came up throwing. I thought she was going to get Clark at third base.
It was close.
So Tigers on first and third now for Maddie Moore. She looks at ball 1. Moore, the junior from Loomis, California, sociology major.
Has really come into her own over the last 2 years out there at second base. Played her rookie year over at third. And in my opinion, she was never comfortable over there. But now she's out there and found her a home in the middle of that infield and has done a great job for this Clemson ball club.
Hitter's pitch here, 2-0. Couple of runners on. No score in the bottom of the first. That one's high, 3-0.
Well, be careful here if you're lying. John Rittman's very aggressive. He may let Maddie Moore go at it on this pitch. Missed away.
Moore takes ball 4, so the second walk of the inning. Bases full of Tigers, and Abby Vieira.
And this is interesting, though. Vieira is really started to hit the ball much, much better. She raised her batting average about 50 points last weekend. And she had a couple of huge 2-out knocks. It's not going to always be that way, but when you got somebody that's hot and that can get that base hit with 2 outs, that is a very, very, very important person. We got time. The third base umpire's trying to call time. What do we got here?
Not sure.
It must have been a clock violation. Yep, 1-0's the count. NCAA softball now has a pitch clock. There's a strike right through there. Evens things up at 1-1.
So you've got 20 seconds.
Yep. From the time the ball gets back into the pitcher's glove, she's got 20 seconds to make a pitch.
Off speed, hit over the second baseman's head. 1 Tiger scores, 2 Tigers will score. Throw comes into third base. 2 RBI, 2-0 lead. Way to go, Abby Vieira.
I love it when she makes me look smart. I was just sitting here talking about her being on a roll and getting those 2-out knocks. There's a big one you want to draw a circle around, place the first 2 runs of the game for the Tigers.
So she didn't really crush it, but she hit it just enough to get over the second baseman's head, get out there into the gap.
Yep.
Takes the extra base on the throw into third. 2-0 Tigers. That's Kylie Johnson now trying to add to the Tiger lead. You've got Clemson runners on second and third for the freshman.
Yep, and this young freshman is just now beginning to find time in the batting order due to some injuries. And she is starting to really, really get comfortable. The batting average doesn't look like much, but you got to remember this time last week, the batting average was 0.
Yeah, she's getting it going.
And she playing some good defensive outfield. She even had a home run last week.
Johnson behind 0-2. Hits that one out toward right. That's going to be dragged in by the second. Yeah, I'm with that. Pescara, Dreyer, and Christopher due up for the running Bulldogs here in the top of the second. Lily Thompson had a 1-2-3 top of the first with a strikeout.
I know the people in Boiling Springs that hopes that she doesn't go somewhere and coach in a hurry.
Exactly.
But she is a good one.
You can hear Thompson when she brings that fastball. That was a little bit over 61 miles per hour. You can hear the grunt in there.
Now, you say the firm stuff, she's 61, 62 miles an hour. Well, that's not very hard. Well, it is when your changeup is like 48.
Yes.
It's not about how hard, it's about changing speeds.
It's ahead in the count 0-2. Let's see if that off speed's coming. Nope, she stays outside with the heats, 1-2. There's the off speed, and there's her second strikeout. That one coming in at 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, she dropped 13 miles an hour on that pitch. And if you don't think that's hard, it is. So there he is, Johnny Ballgame. My buddy, the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, John Rittman. Got Hall of Fame statistics. He's done everything you can do in this business, and he could not have been a better choice to upload and run this Clemson softball program.
Taylor Dreyer from Gilbert, South Carolina. Boy, what a throw she had from behind home plate.
Sure did.
To nail Alex Brown in the top of the first, or this ball game would be potentially blown open. It's already 2-0 Tigers.
Got a piece of that and fouled it off. And you know, Mark, the thing about Rittman, and don't tell him I said this, but he's also one of the best people I know.
There you go.
He's a very, very, very good coach, but he's a better person. There he is. Yeah. He paid me $40 to say that, so I had to get that in.
$40 in like a gift card somewhere?
Yeah, well, it's all gift card.
Okay.
It was $41 gift cards. So he goes all out.
Well, he's got this Clemson team right in the mix nationally again this season. The 1-2 a little bit low.
You ever went in and bought 2 Coca-Colas with $1 gift cards? They look at you.
We're going to have to go back a few years.
They look at you strange.
Good job by Dreyer just to stay alive. As Thompson's hunting her 3rd consecutive strikeouts. Man, it's just a perfect night. Maybe if that wind was blowing out, we might see a couple of homers this evening, but with the wind blowing in, that's okay. I like the breeze. It's really nice this evening.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Swung on and missed. Throw down to first, and that is 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Millie Thompson.
Pierre and Cagle did a good job communicating that time to create a good throwing alley.
Yes.
For Vieira to get the put out. When the catcher drops strike 3, or strike 3 is in the dirt, she has to complete the out by getting the throw down to first base, and they did a great job of that time.
2 outs now for Ella Christopher. She's way out in front of the first one. Christopher batting .284 on the season, the sophomore from Longwood, Florida.
You notice a lot of states have towns with the same name.
They do.
Yeah, I wonder why. I guess it'd just be that way, don't it?
I think so.
Yeah. It'd be hard if they'd run out of names eventually if they didn't do that.
Were the states like collaborating when they were naming all the
I don't know if they
cities
got together or
like,
not, but you know they should have.
Calling up to North Carolina like, what you guys working on? And they share, who knows? Well, it's hit down toward first. Barely foul. Boy, that was close.
Close. That was really, really close. I don't know what kind of angle we got on this, but man, see, it's already hit the ground. It's just barely foul. It was foul, but I mean, it was foul by inches.
She was really late on that fastball. And
yes, she was.
Almost paid off with a double.
Well, the thing is, when you face Millie Thompson, you almost have to what they call hit backwards. They have to look for the changeup and adjust for something fast, which is not something very easily done.
1-2 from Thompson.
There's another one right off the end of the bat. That came in there at 50 miles an hour.
There was always Spencer Strider, former Clemson Tiger for the Atlanta Braves, is a great example, not of pitching backwards, but he's got that smoking hot fastball at 99, and he comes in with like an 87-mile-an-hour slider. It looks like it's coming at 40 miles an hour, right?
I was reading about him this morning. He's also working on a curveball now.
Tell you what.
If he gets that,
might be the best pitcher in baseball in the next couple of years. Keep an eye on him.
I really enjoy watching him.
I do too. The 2-2. Boy, that almost went through that little part of the netting.
Well, we've already seen that this season, Mark, with a bat. It ended up in the Clemson dugout. It scattered everybody.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
So Christopher doing a good job. Seeing a lot of pitches in this at bat. Making Thompson work. Hit slowly to third. Brown to Cagle for out number 3.
And there Millie Thompson went out and did her job. Got the shutdown inning after scoring some runs.
For what a treat. What a treat.
It sure is.
There's plenty of people that probably caught a couple of innings of the baseball game and made their way over here. And when that one ends, I bet this thing fills up a little bit more.
A couple of more trickle in.
Bottom of the second now for the Tigers. It'll be Hyatt and Oda, and then back to the top of the lineup with Brown.
One thing about the Clemson Nation is that they support their teams.
They do.
And it has always impressed me. I mean, we've had very, very few softball games at this ballpark where the berm wasn't full because all of the seats in the bowl are sold.
All right, hits one to deep short. Christopher throws it a little bit high to Nicholson, who can't come up with it. And that'll be an error to start the second inning for the Tigers.
Yeah, that one got away from the shortstop.
She had to go a little ways, kind of deep into the hole, but she had plenty of time to make the throw. Let's see if you see anything here.
The release point's off a little bit. Nicholson, first baseman, says, I'm tall, but not that tall. Going to have a pinch runner right there, I think, come in at first base. Let's see who we get. The numbers are a little tough to read from this distance.
They are, the white on white.
They're trying to get us a shot right now, but I haven't. They got number 6, Baumhart.
It's Julia Baumhart.
She's a pitch running specialist for the Tigers. I think you'll see her run early. I think that they'll test the arm of Dreyer once more.
Yeah, Baumhart already has 7 stolen bases on the season. Yep. Ariel Oda up now for the Tigers. She's 7 for 7, but again, we've already seen their catcher Dreyer throw one Tiger out at second base. As Oda looks at strike 1.
See, Baumhart has no at-bats on the year but 6 stolen bases. That tells you this is what she does.
Oda hits one down the left field line. That's going to be fair. Baumhart will have to stop at second. And the Tigers have something cooking again here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and Oda had to miss the back half of the weekend tournament with a little bit of an injury, but she's back in the lineup. And if you listen to me talk at all, you know I'm a big fan of Ariel Oda. She's a blue-collar player and does everything the team asks her to do. That time she just went with the pitch, served it over the third baseman's head. And now with nobody out, you got runners on first and second, and Brown up. Shows bunt, but takes it.
It's the 4th hit of the game for the Tigers. Alex Brown has one of those. She had a single to start the first. Tigers put a crooked number up in the first inning. They'd love to do that again here in the second.
This is a really interesting decision to make for the Gardner Webb defense, because Brown has the capacity to bunt for a base hit. So, and with these quick runners on base, you got to make your decision very quickly who you're going to get an out.
The ball trickles away a little bit from the catcher, and Baumhart and Oda quickly take an additional base. That's a costly mistake.
Yes, it was. Now the scenario changes. I may be splitting hairs, but I don't like going in standing up. Twofold. Number one, you could accidentally overrun the base. Take one extra step, leg come up, they got the glove on you could be out. Number two, you could hurt yourself by trying to slow down and stay up. Of course, you can hurt yourself sliding in as well, but I like sliding in over there at third base.
The 2-2 to Brown. Boy, didn't miss by much. Full count.
Oh, it did not.
Andrea Lyon, a little bit frustrated she didn't get that call. I don't blame her. It was really close.
She's trying to figure out the strike zone right now.
The payoff pitch to Brown, way outside in the dirt. A really good stop by Dreyer to keep it in front of her. And the base is full of Tigers with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Mackenzie Clark coming up.
And the Gardner Webb Bulldogs are now officially in a mess, because they've got Clark, Cagle, and Longaleo all coming up with nowhere to put them.
Mackenzie Clark walked and came around to score in the first. It's one deep into right field. Garcia will grab it. Tigers will advance a couple of bases, and she'll get an RBI to give Clemson the 3-0 lead.
If the wind were blowing the other way, that ball would have went out of the park. It got up in that jet stream is blowing right back at her, but it was more than deep enough to score the run from third base. Baumhart scored with no problems, and Oda was able to get over to third base from second.
So you've got Oda on third, Brown on first.
And you got to imagine Brown's going to be going.
Valerie Cagle, first pitch.
That'll
Out
score
in
another
left
run.
field. Oda will tag. Throw will come into second base, so another sacrifice fly and RBI for Valerie Cagle. 4-0 Tigers.
That's pretty ABC softball, isn't it? Get them in, get them over, get them on, get them in.
That was a good job there. So that was the 19th RBI of the season for Clark.
What a good shot right there. Yeah, what a great shot by our production group. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step all over you, Mark.
Oh, no, that's okay. We're complimenting the production team, which you should have, because that was a great-looking shot. So Tigers scored 2 in the first, 2 here in the second. Aaliyah Lungaleo up now with 2 outs. And Alex Brown on first base. She's ahead in the count, 2-0. Yeah, efficient baseball, right? You've got the bases loaded. You hit a fly ball deep to right. You hit a fly ball deep to left. Suddenly, the 2-0 lead is a 4-0 lead. Perfectly.
On, over, and in. That's what you want to do.
Lungaleo rips one foul.
She was way ahead of that one.
Yeah, that wind really blowing hard. Almost dead end from center field now. You're going to have to probably whip one down the line if you want to get one out of the park here today.
Yeah, I don't
Might be your only option.
Yeah. From left center field over to the left field foul pole. That's your only chance right now, I think. Of course, every time we do that, we get in a lot of trouble. I say we, I mean me, thinking.
Lungaleo, the senior, hits one high and deep to left field, right down the line, like we were just talking about. 2-run home run, Tigers on top, 6-0. Boy, she hammered that.
That was a no-doubter. That was just a matter of whether it was going to go in the lake or not. That was a big blow. Now, it did just so happen to go into the area we talked about. But that ball might have been out anywhere she hit it tonight. She hit that ball very hard.
She did. That's her 4th home run. RBIs number 13 and 14. The people on the berm just turn around and watch it.
Yeah, they didn't even have a chance to make a play. When the berm people can't make a play, you know it's tough.
So the Tigers, 4 runs and counting here in the bottom of the second. Maddie Moore, who walked her first time up, looks at ball 1. Clemson now with a 6-0 lead.
That's a great start to be off to if you're John Rittman and his Tigers.
So the bats have been working for Clemson tonight. Millie Thompson's been perfect in the circle so far.
Well, you don't want to take anything away from the 20 wins and all the success that Gardner Webb has had early on in this season, but they're playing a little bit different kind of animal right now. This Clemson team is just potent up and down the order, plus they're a little bit ornery because they went through a stretch where they didn't play very well. They're just now coming out of that funk, and I mean, they are really wanting to get going on another long winning streak of their own.
That's ball 4 now. Second walk for Moore. And we're starting to see for the Tigers, Scott, what I feel like we saw a ton of last season, where just explosions of offense and innings and big-time crooked numbers. It's 2-0 and then suddenly it's 6-0. We saw that so many times last year. Haven't seen it as much this year, but it's starting to come around again. As the temps are rising, the bats are heating up as well. That one's ripped into center immediately. As the Tigers keep things going here in the 4th. Abby Vieira with her second hit of the ball game. The Tigers now at the corners.
Let's remember now, Longaleo hit her home run was with 2 outs. So they got a couple of RBIs with 2 outs already this inning. Vieira continues to be hot. She doesn't mess around. She just flips it out there into center field. Moore goes all the way to third base. And now the young freshman, Johnson, can get up there and she can get herself a 2-out knocking RBI.
The 9th batter of the inning for the Tigers takes ball 1. And remember, JoJo Hyatt reached on an error, so a lot of these runs are unearned that the Tigers are stacking up here in the second. Johnson hit a fly ball to right field her first time up. Andrea Lyon trying to get out of a jam here in inning number 2. This misses again, ball 3. You turning her loose 3-0 with a 6-0 lead in the second?
No, not her. Just because of where she's at in the batting order and her batting average. But she may be hacking away. Nope. It was a moot point because the ball was well out of the zone. We'll never know.
Bases full of Tigers again. They've now batted around here.
That'll bring JoJo Hyatt up, who started this inning, grounding the ball to shortstop. The throw got away. Baumhart came in, ran for her, and that's how everything went. John Rippon having to take time to re-enter Hyatt. That means Baumhart's day is over. She can settle up the check and go take a shower.
She scored a run after pinch running here at the top of this inning. 10th batter of the inning. Tigers have already plated 4. And that's strike 1 to Hyatt.
Yep.
Talked about Hyatt's struggled with the bat a little bit so far this season, but starting to come around. A big hit right here would help her a lot.
Oh, yeah, she needs it too for her psyche. Sometimes you can just get to believing that you can't hit.
Just a little bit late on that one, 0-2.
Hyde's seen her average all the way down below 100 right now. Not as many at-bats as the rest of the club, but enough for her to be aggravated about the situation. Hyatt's one of the originals.
Fouls that one off the top of the screen.
Yep, got the screen. Hyatt and Oda were high school teammates down at Beaufort, Georgia. They've been playing softball together now for well over a decade.
You talk about players that the program were built around with Clark, Cagle, and Longaleo. Hyatt and Oda, a big part of that as well.
Well, Hyatt's had a tough job here being a catcher, being a number 2 catcher. She's done a few other things, but she and Oda came from a winning program down there at Beaufort. And
rips one to first, and Nicholson stabs it to mercifully end the inning.
I got as much hair as she does.
Thompson's starting off inning number 3. He's faced 6 batters in 2 innings so far with a couple of strikeouts, actually 3 strikeouts. This will be Nicholson, Garcia, and Wayland due up for the running Bulldogs. And slapped off the third baseman's glove. Longaleo fires it to first. I think that's going to go as a hit on the infield.
Yeah, it was hit pretty sharp.
Brown couldn't quite get it in her glove.
Ball went off Brown. You see here. Yeah, I think you got to give that a hit because she did well to deflect it.
Well, the throw was a tiny bit. I mean, you can't put that on Longaleo, right? And they do score a hit. I was going to say the throw was a little low. If it had been a little higher, I think they'd have had her at first base. But that'll go down as the first hit of the game.
Well, after the deflection went off her glove, there was a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the scorer did an excellent job there.
I do too.
Hit. But now if you're Millie Thompson, you just got to crawl right back in that tunnel, go back to work, get outs.
First base runner of the game for Gardner Webb, and there's that off-speed pitch again, lethal at 51 miles an hour.
And you got to understand the psychology of pitching. When you've got a 6-run lead, strikes are your best friend.
Off speed right in there. Strike number 3 and strikeout number 4.
That was even slower. That was 49 miles an hour. She's got, you know, a fairly firm, fast tosses, but then she goes slow and slower. Then, as I said over the weekend, I think she's got one that just stops. I don't know how she does it.
So runner on now with 1 out, and
that is the 3rd straight changeup she has thrown. That one got all the way up to 50 miles an hour. Guess the adrenaline got flowing.
Yeah, I'd said Meredith Whalen earlier. I meant to say Emily Garcia here in the 9-hole for the running Bulldogs. Pretty young lineup for Gardner Webb. A lot of sophomores in this lineup for them, so
they're going to be good for a while. I think they play out of the Big South Conference, and that conference had better take notice.
It's hit to Lungaleo, goes to second for 1. They fire it over to first, but she beats it out. But that's an important out number 2 here in the top of the 3rd.
Yep. A, it's out 2. B, lead runner. That's how you play the game.
So we go back to the top of the order. Jalen Teneo, who hit the first pitch of the ball game, right to Mackenzie Clark in center field.
Yep. She was a 1 pitch, 1 out.
She's swinging at this one, almost an identical spot where she hit that in the first inning, and that'll be out number 3. So Doolittle comes in, and you're going to be walking through the meat of the order here.
Yeah, she's going to get baptized by fire, isn't she?
She is.
This is a lot of horsepower.
So Oda had a single last inning. Came around to score as the Tigers put up 4 in the second inning after 2 in the first. 2 crooked numbers so far. They'd love to add to that here.
Yeah, 6 runs after 2 innings is efficient offensively.
Oda now batting .308 on the season.
Of course, we've seen some strange things here this season in terms of big innings. I remember North Carolina State came in here and they hung 5 on the Tigers in the first inning.
That's right.
And so, I mean, it happens.
Oda looks at ball 3. So Doolittle trying to find that strike zone here. She's just entered the game.
You got to make her throw a strike now, particularly if you're Oda and Brown.
So a 4-pitch walk to start the 3rd. Not ideal.
No. Well, it depends on what team you're on.
Yeah, that's true.
I know exactly what you mean. And I can promise you, Doolittle's not happy about that.
Are you sitting on the first pitch after the 4-pitch walk?
I'm going to make her throw a strike.
Yes, he misses low, ball 1. So Alex Brown has a single and a walk and a run scored so far.
When you got somebody out there that's in trouble, you don't help them by accidentally offering that a bad pitch.
That one's in there for Doolittle.
All right, game on.
She lays down a bunt right in front of home plate. Throw to first. Just gets her as the second baseman McLaughlin comes over and makes a nice play. She almost beat that out. Really good play defensively again by the catcher, Dreyer.
Yep. And Coach Wiggins is going to come out and ask the home plate umpire, didn't that ball strike the bat in fair territory? And if it did, that's a dead ball out. We may be able to see it again here, but Brown does a great job of bunting the ball, but she drops the bat in fair territory.
So that would make Oda, that'd be an automatic out, and Oda goes back to first base?
Yeah, it's a dead ball, yeah.
Okay.
And here's the tricky part. Did the ball hit the bat or did the bat hit the ball? That to me looked like the ball hit the bat.
Yep.
So it would stand. The play would stand, actually. Oh, they're going to call her out, and they're going to put the runner back.
So, okay. All right. I feel like every game I do with you, we end up with something I've never seen before in softball as we continue to educate everyone. So if the ball hit the bat, that's different from the bat hitting the ball?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? So
I am saying that because the bat, I think I'm right on this. Now, again, they change the rules all the time, but that was not a case of Brown dropping the bat on the ball.
Right.
That ball had backspin on it and came back to the bat.
Yes.
And that is supposed to be a situation of no harm, no foul. But if the bat is thrown, if the bat is dropped by the batter such that it falls on the ball, if you see now the bat is on the ground and has not touched the ball yet, the ball spins back to the bat.
By the way, what a great job by our camera crew and our replay crew.
Well, they're the best. Are you nuts? They're the best. Look at that.
We got a second angle.
Look at this. Okay.
Yeah, that's where it makes contact right there. So Coach Rittman is going out and saying, because of what you just said, that Oda should be at second base.
That's
should be one out and a runner at second, as opposed to one out and Oda stays at first.
That's important. Yeah, that's what he's pleading, but he's not going to win, and I'll tell you why. There's not enough to turn it over. I mean, it's kind of, to use a real loose analogy, it's chicken and egg. And they're going to go take a look, then they're going to come back out here and say the play stands. That's my belief. And John did a pretty good job of arguing, and for him to stay that long, he's pretty well convinced that the ball hit the bat.
So they're headed to the replay room. And again, Scott, we've seen some, you and I have seen some strange things in the games that we've done together. And this goes right in line with that. And again, I've enjoyed so much, and I know Clemson Nation has too, learning the game of softball over the years, and there's still something new that we all haven't seen before, and this is a new one for me.
And I'm not 100%.
They've got to be scratching their heads on the delineation between ball hitting bat and bat hitting ball.
Well,
who knew?
I just think the replay indicated very clearly that the ball hit the bat.
Yes.
The hitter did not throw the bat in a manner that made it hit the ball. I think, I might have actually got one right.
There you go. Well, Mackenzie Clark steps in with one out here and a runner on second base. She has a walk and a sacrifice fly with an RBI. It's the first one to straightaway center.
The wind's not going to let that do anything.
Be grabbed by Wayland, and they keep the runner at second base. Yeah, with that wind blowing straight in. As we said earlier, going to be hard hitting one out of here that way. So 2 outs now for Valerie Cagle. Cagle, a single and a sacrifice fly and an RBI. And Doolittle, after the leadoff walk, has settled down a little bit.
Yes, she has.
Now has 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Well, one of the outs was a sacrifice. When it was all said and done, Brown's at bat was a sacrifice bunt.
Cagle hits one.
That's a 2-out double.
The shortstop. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Ariel Oda will score. Cagle never stops running. She's going for third. Slides in safely with the triple and the RBI. Tigers up 7-0.
Now, I got to tell you something. That right there is something that I don't, and I bet you a lot don't, give credit to Valerie Cagle. Did you see her run the bases right then?
She was flying.
She was committed to getting 3 bases. I thought that would have been a stand-up double. She says, shut up, old man, I'm going to get me a triple. And she did. And if we have a shot the way she turned second base, she is just that doggone good.
It's her 3rd triple of the season, her 2nd RBI of the game. She's up to 27 there now.
But that whole triple happens between first and second. If you watch this. See that? She didn't slow down, nothing. She cut that angle tight. Went in there with the slide like I talked about. She must have heard me earlier.
Yeah. Maddie Moore up. It's one to right field. Garcia's been busy out there, and she grabs it for out number 3. But the Valerie Cagle triple makes our school be in now. Play first, taking over for Valerie Cagle. We have a change of catcher as well. Looks like.
Going to be, is that Vieira? Yeah, Vieira going to get a little work. I guess when you're a senior pitcher that had a good weekend, you can say, okay, I want her to catch for me. Now he's just getting everybody a little bit of midweek work in. Got 3 big games coming in here starting on Friday. Carolina Tar Heels. There'll definitely be a little bit of a seeding factor for the ACC tournament riding in that game.
Byzantine, Lyon, and Pescara due up.
The Tar Heels are not ranked as yet, but they are being noticed.
Allen's in there for a strike, 2-1.
Well, with the sun setting now, it really is pretty out there.
It is. Beautiful night.
Yeah. Would you call that a sustained win?
I would. It's been consistent or sustained, if you will, better than, from the start of the game, blowing in either, towards third base or straight in from center field.
Yeah. I'm going to go with sustained win.
I like it. That one's ripped out into left center field, and a great grab out there by Oda.
And that was a great job. That ball was tailing away from Clark. Oda was the only player that had a chance to make that catch, and she did a great job. That's just Ariel Oda doing what she does. I mean, that's what makes her almost impossible to get out of the batting order.
Yeah, when that thing came off the bat, I thought that was a double.
Yeah, because she finds a way to stay in the lineup. Just like we just see that young woman go out there every game.
Yep.
And do a little something to help this team.
Andrea Lyon, here's the starting pitcher. She struck out her first time up back in the first inning. This is her second at bat. Oh, that was some smoke.
Yes, it was.
Almost 64 miles per hour. The 0-2 pitch. That one bounces up there. So Spencer's fastball's got to look even faster after seeing all the off-speed from Millie Thompson, right?
Yeah, it does have to look like a million miles an hour, and there's a strikeout.
Spencer's first strikeout, second time Lyon's gone down on strikes. And that's quickly 2 outs here in the top of the 4th for the running Bulldogs. See, did she get a piece of that and foul it into the glove? Nope,
Yep.
She missed it.
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, like you just said, the change of speeds.
Well, Pescara hits the first pitch to Moore, over to Hiller, in a very quick 1-2-3 inning. Abby Vieira and Kylie Johnson due up as well.
See what we're doing here now. We got time called. What are we going to talk about now? The inning hadn't even started yet and we got trouble.
Maybe they're talking about me saying that Maddie Moore made the last out instead of Aaliyah Lungaleo.
They just reset.
Used everyone. Okay.
They're resetting
Setting
the pitch clock.
Okay.
Don't even get me started.
We have an extended rant coming up about the pitch clock from you later this season. Not tonight, just
off
later
air.
this season. Off air. Off air.
Yeah. Because it's going to get probably a little colorful. Now my live StatCast has gone away all of a sudden.
Maddie Moore's got a couple of walks in her 2 plate appearances. Is ahead in the count here, 2-0. Tigers have scored every inning. 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third. Big cut there. Off speed, big cut, fouls it away. Count even at 2-2. That one came in under 50 miles per hour.
Yeah,
Talking about the off speed from Millie Thompson, a similar pitch there.
Yes, it was. Very nice changeup.
Moore hits one to second. McLaughlin over to Nicholson for out number 1. Abby Vieira steps in. She has 2 hits and 2 RBIs this evening. And Scott, you've been talking, Abby's bat's been red hot.
Yes.
That batting average is going sky high.
Going up, yeah, now she's raised it another 10 or 12 points tonight.
Lines the first one.
Hit that one hard.
Yeah, right at Christopher for out number 2. Boy, she hit that right on the nose.
Yep, went right at the shortstop.
So Kylie Johnson. Freshman steps in. Way out in front of that one, fouls it away. Trying to keep the inning going. Tigers again have scored every inning. They'd love to do it again here.
Yes, they would. They hit that hard.
So you see that batting average a little bit lower, but you've been very complimentary of Kylie Johnson. You really like her and what you've seen from her.
Yes, because she hadn't had a chance to play. When Garcia got hurt out there, the regular right fielder, it opened up a gap for her. And like I said, a week ago, she was hitting 0 because she hadn't had any at-bats to speak of. But now she's up to 206, and she's played some great defense.
It's ball 2. Doolittle's been solid since she came in the top of the third, giving up just the 1 run. And Johnson, who's already walked once, now ahead in the count, 3-1. Grace Hiller is on deck.
I had to go to my plan B. I had to switch computers. As you see a walk right there thrown by Kaylee Johnson. That's going to bring up Grace Hiller, who's checked in to play first base.
Grace Hiller.
Now you're up 7. Softball etiquette always has said play hard till you get to 8. And there goes Johnson. And that is not in bad taste.
Yeah, you were literally just making the point as they take the extra base up 7. So you're saying softball etiquette, that's perfectly okay because 8 run is
the game.
5 innings.
8 runs wins the game.
After 5.
After
innings.
5.
Yep.
Right. So, but once you get an 8-run lead, then maybe you cut off the sliding and the bunting and the stuff like that.
That moves her into scoring position, so a hit from Hiller is not what she'll come up with. She hits one right back to Doolittle, who tosses it over to Nicholson for out number 3.
Buford High School, how about that? So the legacy continues from Buford High to Clemson, South Carolina. It's got to be a thrill for her. She's getting a little bit more work here over this homestand. She's only got 5 innings of work, but at least 3 of them came this past weekend. When you've got Cagle, Spencer, Millie Thompson, and Brooke McCubbin, you kind of have to wait your turn. And she's been very patient. And she's going to be a good one, I think. She's got long levers, her arms and legs. That's a big, big plus to be a good pitcher in this sport. When she lets go of that thing, she's only about maybe 35 feet away. That's what people don't think about. From the pitcher's mound to the plate, or pitching rubber to the plate, it is 43 feet.
Yeah.
Now that you can kind of hop a little bit, you don't have to worry about dragging now. When she releases the ball, her stride gets her close to only 35 feet away. Watch this. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you throw in that with velocity, that's getting up there in a hurry.
It's Taylor Dreyer up for the running Bulldogs. Full count now on her. She struck out her first time up. Fouls another one away.
Crowd still hanging around. Watch this. She shortens it up a little bit, doesn't she? I mean, that's pretty close when she lets go.
Dreyer fouls it away again. We got a nice little battle going.
Go way back, and I say way back, go back to 2004 to 2008 when Jenny Finch was with the national team. She was tall too. When she let it go, she'd be about that far away, but she was throwing it 70 miles an hour.
Oh! Right off of Duncan's glove, and she'll beat it out for an infield single. Almost came up without number 1. That was just a reflex.
Yeah, that was a 65-mile-an-hour pitch. She got hit right back at her. Almost made the play. Just could not hold on to it.
Just the second hit for the running Bulldogs, and they've both been infield singles. It's Ella Christopher now up for Gardner Webb.
Both of these teams get back into the conference this weekend. We talked about that. Tar Heels of North Carolina come here, and the Longwood Ball Club and the Gardner Webb team, they get together for a weekend series.
Just out of the strike zone.
Yeah, she's having trouble getting a range of the zone. A couple of those pitches have been pretty close, but until you can throw it consistently, you're not going to get the call.
That one gets by Vieira.
Yep.
Runner's going to move up to second base.
That could very easily be a pass ball. I don't know that the ball ever got in the dirt, but we'll see how they call it. It really doesn't matter. Bottom line is there's a runner at second, but nobody out.
It's hit to Lungaleo at short. Fires over to Hiller for out number 1. Runner has to stay put at second base.
The one thing Lungaleo does very, very well is she gets a base under her before she throws. Watch her, look at her legs. They're there in perfect position. Firm throw across the way for the first out.
So Annika McLaughlin offers it the first pitch, strike 1.
That was a 65 plus. See a look in there into the Tiger dugout where Coach Kyle Jamerson, the very fine pitching coach for the Tigers, is pushing the buttons. You see him there. You barely see. There he is. He only gave me $20, so just give him a little shot.
Duncan quickly ahead, 0-2, misses outside.
Yep. That was well off the plate, but that was a good pitch, though. She hit her spot. I was watching where Vieira had to mitt and was requesting the ball. There's Kyle. Used to be the head coach at Furman.
Popped over foul.
Before he came over and joined John Rittman here. And he also, as a matter of fact, brought another very good assistant coach for the Tigers with her, Courtney Brialt, who is off camera right now. But they were over at Furman and came over here. Hit her spot again. A couple of these pitches are not her missing. This is them actually having her throw the ball out of the zone.
Hoping to get the batter to offer it something.
If you watch the catcher, they'll tell you, as you see right there, that all of that was set up by her spotting pitches out of the zone. That's a good job by the young pitcher, not letting that line drive rattle her.
And also a good job by Brown.
Yes.
Gets it over to Hiller for out number 2, so a chance to get out of the inning.
Yep.
With no damage now for Duncan. And Kaylee Nicholson due up. Well, it looks like they're going to come up with a pinch hitter now for Gardner Webb. It looks like this is going to be Alyssa Bonilla.
See what we can find out about Miss Bonilla. Well, she is hitting .444 and only 18 at-bats. She's 8 for 18. She's got 6 RBI.
Hits the first one to Brown. Stays in front of it. Won't be able to make the throw to first, but importantly enough, did keep the ball in front of her and in the infield.
Yes.
To keep the runner at second.
Yep.
We'll see how they score that. That's a tough one. Haven't put it up on the board yet. Emily Garcia in the 9 spot for Gardner Webb.
They're still arguing about it in there.
Yeah, who hit into a fielder's choice her first time. She's up now with 2 running Bulldogs on the base paths. Fouls that one away. She's quickly behind, 0-2.
Yep. And if you're...
They call that a hit, by the way.
They did score the hit. But if you're Duncan, you're only a pitch away from getting out of it.
Freshman delivers off speed. Hit out to Lungaleo. She scoops it over to Moore for out number 3. So a great inning.
There's nothing like it. And she just motored around to third base.
Triple and an RBI for her. And that's how we've ended up where we're at. 7-0 Tigers in the bottom of the 5th. 281.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's with that huge wind blowing as well.
As they say back home, that's a fur piece.
Ariel Oda has a single and a walk.
Oda's going to do what leadoff hitters do to start an inning. You know, a leadoff hitter is whoever starts the inning. It's just not the person who hits first in the lineup. You know, and so her job is to get on base. And she knows her job. She does it very well every day.
And just outside 2-1. If the Tigers can push a run across the plate here in the bottom of the 5th, that'll be the ball game. 8 runs after 5 innings, as Scott alluded to earlier, ends the game here in college softball.
And any coach will tell you, we don't get paid by the hour. So if we get a chance to get a win and get off the field, get it and go.
Yep, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. Not only the other team coming back, but injuries. Anything freaky can happen.
Yeah.
So you get off the field as quickly as you can. And you saw another quick look at John Rittman making that purple look good tonight. I think the official Nike name of that color is Regalia. But just between me and you, Mark, that's purple.
I'll take it. Payoff pitch from Doolittle. Oda smashes one past first base, and you talked about the leadoff hitter needing to get on, Scott. That's exactly what she does. Ariel Oda with her second hit of the game.
She pulled that ball right under the glove of the first baseman. And now in a pretty big spot. See that? I mean, she just does her job. Nicholson had no chance. Now, if you're Brown, your job is to move the runner somehow.
Yeah,
single, double, triple homer.
And she's got a hit and a walk. She's swinging away. I thought she might be bunting also to try to get her over.
Well, we have seen a little bit of an influx of power from Brown. She has driven the ball in the gap several times, and it actually hit one out of the park too last week. So we're starting to see her flirt with some power, and that certainly adds a dimension to her game.
It's in there for strike two. Doolittle's done a great job since she came in the game in the third. He's only given up one run.
You know, I was sitting here thinking about the fact that, you know, she has competed. I mean, she has not been out there just watching. A lot of times a young player come out there against a team like this and basically watch them play, and she hadn't done that. She just come out and did a great job.
That one bounces up there and gets a little bit away from Dreher behind the plate, and Oda quickly swipes second base, so she is that much closer to ending this one for the Tigers.
She's 120 feet away from dinner.
One-two pitch to Brown, way outside.
And it doesn't get any easier after Brown.
Clark on deck, and then Cagle behind.
Then Cagle behind her.
Brown hits one right to the second baseman, who leaps into the air. McLaughlin with the play of the game defensively. What a catch.
Fine play by McLaughlin to kind of hold this inning together. But
ooh, she got up.
She did. Good job of Oda not getting doubled up. The last time Mackenzie Clark hit in a situation like this, she walked us off.
Clark hits one out to right. Diving. No, the ball pops out of her glove. Oda stays at third base as the ball comes back in. So it was almost an incredible defensive play by Garcia in right. It looked like maybe when her body hit the ground that the ball popped out of her glove. That'll be a hit for Mackenzie Clark.
You're exactly right. That's what happened. The impact of her body and arm hitting the ground jarred the ball loose. Now,
oh boy, that was
she had it in there a long time.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to have a pitching change now. It looks like number 28.
So Rittman,
Taylor Kyle is going to come in now.
So Rittman held Oda at third. I think that was the right thing to do. She would have been.
Well,
we'll take a quick break as we sort out the pitching change here in the bottom of the fifth.
base open, and I cannot for the life of me figure out any reason you would pitch to this person.
So Valerie Cagle, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. And they're pitching to her, but it might be one of those, we're pitching to you, but you're not going to really see anything you can hit moments here.
I tell you, I'd roll them in there.
Look at the heat map for
At least
Cagle.
you could hold her to a single.
Valerie hits one off the end of the bat. Throw's going to come to the plate, and Oda is out at the plate. So Kyle comes in and gets the first out.
Well, so far so good.
Yes.
Now, Oda was going on contact. That's what we call angle down. Because in that situation, you've got a runner on second. You got a runner on third. They're both going to be moving.
Yep.
So she's kind of refilled Clark refilled the base. And she's still close enough that she can score on anything that gets by.
So you saw the replay of the 2-run home run from Aaliyah Lungaleo.
Yep.
A hit here ends this ball game for the Tigers.
And if you're
Gardner Webb's got a chance to get out of it.
Yeah, if you're Kyle and you get out of this is something you tell people for a while.
It's one deep to short, and Lungaleo's going to beat it out. The 8th run crosses the plate, and that's a walk-off winner for the Clemson Tigers.
Kind of anticlimactic, but it does count. Lungaleo put it in play. The shortstop couldn't come up with it cleanly. Clark